Welcome the audience to this special talk program. To make this a special moment more special, we have our special guest, and he is the father of microcredit. He is the winner of a Nobel Peace Prize, and he is Muhhamand Yunus, Professor Muhhamand Yunus. Let me welcome him. Welcome, sir. Welcome to Nepal. Welcome to Himalaya Television. Welcome to our
Well, I'm delighted to be here.
It's our honor, sir, to have you here.
I'm delighted.
Sir, first of all, tell us about this visit of yours.
Well, I'm visiting after a long time. I used to visit Nepal quite frequently, but in the meantime, I didn't visit for several years. So I'm here for microcredit. Also, talk about social business. This is a new area that we have been developing. Business to solve problems rather than make money.
Social business.
Social business.
Okay.
That's what I've been doing. And we launched a social business fund with one of the businessmen here, Binod Chaudhary. He donated, invested $1 million to create this fund so that anybody who will have a good idea of solving a problem in a business way, this money will be invested in that company as a social business.
Okay. As the father of microcredit, what is your opinion? Why microcredit? For the development of nation, for the development of the, let's say, the grassroots level?
It's needed because the conventional banking system doesn't extend their services to most of the people, the people at the very bottom. So almost 2/3 of the world population don't have access to those financial services. So we needed something to make it available to those people, the poor people. People need money to start something on their own so that they are not dependent on somebody hiring them and wait for that hiring. And not many times you have those opportunities to get hired by somebody else. So they need to do something on their own, but they don't have the money. So microcredit is a system where we bring this money in a business way so that you can borrow the money, start the business and earn income and pay the money back to the bank, and then you move on with your life. It's a creation of self-employment, and it especially works so wonderfully with women. Women in remote places. Women
that too in the dominated countries like a male-dominated society like ours.
Absolutely. It's a male-dominated society like Nepal, like Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, in the whole region. And women are always left out from any kind of mainstream thinking, a mainstream design of institutions. So this is very helpful to bring that financial resources to them so that they can make a life and take control of their life.
How do you analyze, since you are the founding father of microcredit and Bangladesh, let's say the concept of microcredit was originated in Bangladesh, how do you compare it? Since that past and present in Bangladesh.
I started in 1976 and gradually it grew, and we created a bank in 1983 called Grameen Bank, and then expanded all over Bangladesh. And many people from Nepal became interested, and they started coming to us to see how it is done. And then it started in Nepal in 1991. We collaborated with Dr. Pant, who was at that time the deputy governor of the Rashtra Bank, and he took the initiative when he created this microfinance program, and gradually it grew, and many other organizations came forward. Today in Nepal there are more than 1.5 million borrowers in the microcredit programs run by nearly 100 organizations.
Are you happy with this?
Well, I'm very happy by the progress.
Are you fully satisfied with this?
I'm fully satisfied with the way it has expanded over the years that since we began here in Nepal. But there are difficulties also, difficulty of overlap, same person being financed by different organizations, which creates a debt burden on the person. And another big problem in Nepal still to be resolved is the problem of remote areas. Most of the microfinance programs are concentrated in the way which is convenient to lend money to people. But the distant places are difficult areas, and Nepal has plenty of those areas, and there it has not extended. Now it will be a challenge, it will be a kind of next level of microfinance to get out there and make sure nobody is left out anywhere in Nepal from the financial services.
What should be done and who should be more responsible for this?
Well, I would say microfinance community as a whole feel themselves responsible to do that, and also central bank to help facilitate that, how to make it easy for them. RMDC is an organization which has been financing all these microfinance organizations in Nepal, they can also come up with ideas, kind of initiatives to see areas which are left out are no longer left out, encourage them, give incentive to them, and those kind of things. I'm sure they are very dedicated and committed to do such things. We are discussing it. We had a microfinance conference while I'm here, so I had a chance to meet all of them. They are very committed people. I have great admiration for all of them. And we talked about the problems. I learned from them all these problems. They are very aware of those problems. It's a question of taking the next step.
So tell us something about the plan and policy drafted by Bangladesh to flourish this microcredit.
We have been talking about creating a regulatory authority, separate regulatory authority for microfinance, because it grew so much in Bangladesh. We needed a special kind of regulatory authority. And finally, Bangladesh government created a microfinance regulatory authority, and which looks at the functioning of the microcredit organizations around the country. So this is a very important step. And then another one that they did was created a law to create Grameen Bank back in 1983. That was also a very important step, to create a separate law to create a microfinance bank. I thought these are the two very significant things Bangladesh government has done. And the third one, also very important, I should mention that, creation of a fund called PKSF, which is a wholesale fund which is available to any microfinance organization who would like to lend money to poor people. They can come and borrow money from this fund and then lend money to the poor people with a very soft interest rate and so on. And RMDC in Nepal was actually created with that kind of idea in mind, that it will play the same role as PKSF has played that role in Bangladesh, and RMDC has done it very successfully in Nepal.
Okay. Are you satisfied with the plan and policy drafted by the Nepal government regarding this microcredit, microfinance?
I have not seen it, but I have heard about it.
So what kind of plans and policies should be drafted?
Always I was promoting the idea of giving facility to become self-reliance and run this program in a business way, so that they can become independent entity. They don't have to depend on money coming from outside. So those are the things I think needed in the policy framework, to see microfinance organizations become independent and self-financed.
How do you analyze the relationship between Bangladesh and Nepal in terms of microcredit, microfinance?
The relationship in general between Nepal and Bangladesh has been always very friendly, very warm, very cordial. And on the microfinance front, we are very close to each other.
Okay.
We are just like a family. We visit each other. Many of these programs that are created here, they spend time in Bangladesh to study, to understand it, absorb it, and do it here. And Bangladeshi microfinance practitioners, activists, come and visit here. So we are a very close-knit family between Bangladesh and Nepal. And whatever we do, Nepal looks at it very carefully. Whatever is done by Nepal, we look at it very carefully, what's happening, and we learn from each other.
So what should we do for the flourishment of this microcredit, microfinance in both the countries?
Well, this is something that we have common problems, like overlapping problems. Yeah. This is a common problem. And problems of the people is still left out. We talk about how many people we have reached with microfinance, both in Bangladesh and Nepal. But now we have to raise the question, how many people we have not reached.
Not reached, yeah.
That's the goal. So that someday we say we have nobody else left in the country who do not have access to microfinance. So that should be our goal, and make sure nobody in our countries, in Bangladesh and Nepal, remain idle, nobody remains unemployed, nobody remains poor.
Do you feel that there are the people left out?
Right now?
Right now, yeah.
Yes, there are lots of people left out from microfinance facilities.
Both the countries?
Both the countries. In Bangladesh, we think we have covered about 80% of the poor families with microfinance.
80%?
80%, so 20% more to go.
Okay. Yeah. And how do you analyze the awareness level of the people regarding this microcredit, microfinance? Awareness level.
Oh, yeah. The awareness of people in Bangladesh and also Nepal is very good. It's in both places, because it's extended everywhere. But the awareness probably is not as strong as you would expect in the remote places Nepal, because this is a separate kind of issue that we have been talking about, how to make them aware. Not aware because it's not there. If it is there, then everybody becomes aware, because people love it, people want it, and they benefit from it. So they are not the one that's walk away, well, I don't care about it. It's not like that. Simply things doesn't exist for them, so they don't know what this is all about. But once they go there, they will become very interested in that.
The concept of microfinance, microcredit was originated in Bangladesh. You
Right.
had the founding father, as you have said already, as we have said. Tell us, can you please recall those moments, the past and the present, the past moments?
Well, way back
very
in
nutshell,
way back in 1976, it came not as something pre-planned idea. It was a kind of an instantaneous reaction to the situation. People are victims of loan sharks. So I was trying to see, why don't I lend the money and free them from the loan sharks? So I started lending money from my own pocket.
Okay.
And it worked. So I wanted to do it through the bank. Bank refused to do it. So I offered myself as a guarantor, so that they can give the money and I take the risk. And that's how in 1976 we began. And later on in 1983 we created a bank. Because it's working so well, and called it Grameen Bank, and expanded to that. Grameen Bank is owned by the borrowers, and most of our borrowers are women. We have 8.4 million borrowers, and they own the bank, and the bank makes profit. Profit goes back to the borrowers as a dividend of that. That idea of ownership has not been replicated in Nepal, in any other country. So I think that's a very important part, how to make the owners, the borrowers, the owners of the organizations, so that they own that and they see that it's their own organization. So this is one idea that we have. But in the meantime, microcredit has become spread out all over Bangladesh, in every single village, and it's also now in Nepal, in almost every single country in the world. So that's a very happy news. But at the same time, there are so many people still left out from the system. So that's why we're keeping people informed that we have to do something.
So I think we have to wrap up our show. Before wrapping up, a few words from you to our audience.
Well, it's a wonderful experience to come back and meet all my friends. As I said, we are a big family. It's part of the family. And we see tremendous amount of interest here among the young people, among the business, and among the government executives. I have met the Honorable Prime Minister, I have met the Honorable President of the country. Every one of them is very interested in the social business idea, how to solve problems in a business way, without having intention of making money out of it. Business community is responding towards it. So my visit has been tremendously successful, I would say. I'm very pleased by my visit and renewing my contact with my friends here.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
The audience, thank you to you as well. Today we had our guest, Muhhamand Yunus, and he is the Nobel Peace Prize winner in 2006. He had won the Peace Prize, Nobel Peace Prize, and for his effort through microcredit to create economic and social development from below. For your wonderful time. Keep watching Himalaya Television. Namaste.